Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Nedum is joining Craig and Stevie tonight to answer your questions. We just had a bit of a chuckle about Seb yesterday and his shot sheet situation.
Wait, and well, also the chuckles on the show at you pair laughing at me.
What was it he tried to say?
Magnanimous.
There you go.
What did I say?
McManaman? No.
Magnanimous.
No.
Well, she said. Well, she said.
You got the M and the M the wrong way around.
Magnanimous.
Magnanimous, he said.
Well,
we knew what he meant to say. But
Kay said, I said, you two never helped me. And she said, I was going to let it go. I went, how can you let that go?
Oh, she looked good too.
I was going to be like, nothing to see here, let's move along.
So, bearing in mind there's a couple of big games this weekend, I shall not be using that word.
Bin it.
Yeah, just do some vocal exercises. No. Proper popcorn, red lorry, yellow lorry.
Don't think so.
OK, Stevie, will Slot have to rely on Robertson and Bradley over Frimpong and Kirkes? He's actually said after the game that Frimpong's going to be out for a couple of weeks.
Right. Well, that means absolutely Bradley. I think, unfortunately, Robertson played the full game tonight, which I would think means that he won't start at the weekend. Had he brought him off at half-time, that would maybe have told us what was happening at the weekend, but the fact he didn't and let him stay for the whole 90 minutes means Kirkes gets another chance at the weekend, which I don't think is a good idea.
Hi, Craig. Given Madrid's performance tonight and that of Barcelona yesterday, do you think we'll see a competitive Clasico or interesting match that can live up to the memory, or live in the memory, or is it just going to be a dull one?
I don't think it'll be dull.
No.
But I think it'll be competitive. I think it's always competitive pretty much. But I think it will be because there's so many parts of both teams that are still not quite working properly. Both defences are looking shaky. Barcelona's because of the way they play. Real Madrid's because of the personnel issues. So yeah, I mean, Mbappe's in great form. You know, Lamine Yamal. You know, Fermin Lopez had a great Champions League night yesterday. You know, Marcus Rashford's getting some more game time than I thought, and he's looking quite sharp. So, you know, I think there's lots to look forward to. It's you know, both teams are not at the best place they could have been in terms of the history of these two clubs, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a dull and boring game. Certainly the Madrid derby wasn't. You know, the Madrid derby, the Real Madrid were 2-1 up in the Metropolitano and lost 5 in the end. So I don't think this one's going to be a 0-0.
Okay.
Doubt it.
Craig, early in the season you said you didn't think Arsenal could break Chelsea's record of 15 goals conceded in a season. Based on ratios, Arsenal are projected to concede 14. It's still early enough to where you can take credit by the end of the season. Do you care to switch?
Take the to-switch bit out at the end.
Oh, do you care?
Do I care?
Yeah.
No. But to answer the question, no, I mean, I still think that's going to be some going to keep this current, you know, we saw a graphic with the last 6 games in the main show, or in the live show. 1 goal was lost at Newcastle, the others are clean sheets. It's not impossible, but that's difficult to keep that going. So no, I still think that it's going to be 15 and above. But they are the best defence in the league.
For the panel, I'll put this to you, Nedum. A couple of weeks ago, the concept of a tea lady was mentioned. What's a tea lady in soccer? Is that like here in the US, the guy who brings the Gatorade on the sidelines? Maybe he's even too young.
I know he is, aye.
He doesn't know then.
So basically when
we go on.
Sorry, so basically we would say tea lady, right?
Right.
But there would be 3 or 4 either women or men who would do different jobs. So they would do the tea. They'd make sure the tea was in the dressing room at half time. They would see them sweeping up the corridors, or taking kit into where the washing is. So you had 3 or 4 different people. Generally they were women. And so everybody just called them one of the tea ladies. But they actually did the whole host of things. Whereas in today, The last time I was at Anfield, there was a person for every single job, and that was the only thing they did. And so the kind of concept of the tea lady's over, it's gone.
Because we had this conversation, didn't we, afterwards, where we were talking, Nedum, if in the modern clubs now you have those people that do help and do little odd jobs like this, can you remember anyone like that during your playing days?
What I would say is that, say, some of the kit men and women, like, they would do a lot of stuff, but then also they'd be the connection then with the men and women who'd be sort of doing the laundry as well. So again, the clubs would have these people who'd be here for almost like decades, and it connects so many people, and it wouldn't just be the kit, it wouldn't just be the washing. You know, I'm going to try and fix this for you, I'll try and sort that for you, I'll do this with your boots, I'll do this with your kit, maybe I'll get you some food for this, do you want to carry this with you to get to this point? So yeah, I think for me it was more about the sort of kit men and women and the other people that made sure that you were able to train and play games of football.
If you go to these big clubs now, if you go to most clubs now, but certainly the big clubs, doesn't matter what country, if you go to a game, Stevie said, you get in one door because you've got a badge or a ticket, and somebody at the next door checking your badge, and then somebody at the next door, and somebody, it's changed. I think I think more now it is definitely more corporate. I mean, there is absolutely no doubt about that.
Aye.
The sponsorship, the global reach that the game has, and all the commercial aspects, it is very corporate. Not to say that there's not still these little touches behind the scenes, but those were very common. You know, no matter what club you went to, it doesn't matter what size they were, certainly in England, they were all ran like this. Whereas nowadays it's a little or a lot less personal and a lot more about, yeah, you got the right badge, you can come in here, on you go. It's just changed, and I think a lot of it is just the security side of it as well.
Not for the better. Not for the better.
Some of the stories, I mean, we had a kit man at Chelsea when I was like 16, 17, Ken, can't remember his second name, but he, you know, he used to tell us that he was in the military, and then he used to play soccer for this, that, and he said, like, he broke his neck once when he was playing and he carried on. You know, all that kind of stuff. All the boys are like, so you broke your neck and you carried on? Yeah. You know, he just had these people that would just tell stories. He'd be like, that could never happen.
I had a mate who worked at the ground, a guy called Tommy Davis, who actually had one of his main jobs was shooting the pigeons on the roof to make sure they never made nests or clogged it up. And before games at Anfield, I would see Tommy, or not just Tommy, but other guys who did little jobs, and you'd see them walking down the corridor with somebody behind them, and they'd take them all the way down the steps, onto the field, they'd go round the corner and just sit there, and then they'd watch the game.
Helping them in.
There's absolutely no chance of that ever happening now. No chance.
They just don't do things. I mean, they just don't do things now and won't get away with it. I mean, here's a story. Bobby Campbell, who is no longer alive, was a Scouser, managed Fulham with George Best, was manager at Chelsea for a few years when I was a youngster. I was like a teenager. And he wasn't the most popular with the senior players because he was a very gruff, sort of, throw them under the bus, shout at everybody. And some of the senior players didn't like him. Now, it was noted that every half-time Bobby would come in, and before he started shouting at the senior players, he would grab a Gatorade bottle. You know, it was like wasn't see-through, you couldn't see in it. It was like a Gatorade with one of those little lids that you popped up, and he always had a drink. So one of the lads that he'd been upsetting noticed he did this every week and filled it with massage oil. Right? And Bobby come in, and before shouting, before he started these rant at all the players, grabbed, because he'd filled it, a few of them, grabbed the Gatorade bottle and went like that, and all this massage oil down, and he was like, who done that? And the lads were all sitting like cackling. Can you imagine somebody doing that to Pep Guardiola? I mean, it's just not going to happen, is it?
No.
They just don't. It's just
gone are the days.
It's just no fun anymore.
Gone are the days when you could.
But it's not fun anymore. You can't even. No, I'm not going to say it.
You can't even swap Gatorade for massage oil these days.
No.
God. God. All
A
right.
manager can't even drink Gatorade oil now.
Hi, Kay. Please ask Stevie if he thinks the front three, which started tonight, should start against Brentford. Ekitike, Isak and Cody Gakpo. Isak got a groin issue now after that game. Dropping Salah and only bringing him on second half. So that changes that probably a little.
Well, the fact that Isak got injured completely squashes that. But had Isak been in any sort of form, then I would have said yes. Because obviously Salah's not. But when it comes down to Isak or Salah, then you have to go with Salah right now, because Isak's done nothing to make you say he has to play before Salah.
Does Wirtz keep his place in the 11 for you, Nedum?
It's a good question. It's a good question. I think it would be a case of instead of who, because I think I see why Sobosai will be playing. You know, I think Curtis Jones has done well as well, and then I think McAllister's somebody you can always rely on overall. So I don't think I'd be playing him ahead of those three. So the only way I would play him is if maybe they go for a front two and then try and play more of a 10, go for somewhat of a diamond. But I don't think that's going to be the case. So I guess overall, he probably wouldn't start him. But I think he has shown some positive signs in the last game and a half.
It matters it's Brentford as well, doesn't it? It matters that it's Brentford, because they're not going to want to play a game of football. They're going to try and make it about running and challenges and balls in the air, all of those things. So, yeah, I don't see it possible.
Okay, well, we'll find out. Thanks so much for being with us on the latest edition of Extra Time. We will be back tomorrow to do it all over again.